Hey, this is going to be a review comparing the Alpinestars SP2 gloves to the Alpinestars SP8 gloves. They're both Alpinestar gloves, a very similar price point, and they're quite similar looking, so I'm just going to point out what the differences are, say what I like about each of them or what I don't like. Spoilers, really love the SP8, really do not like the SP2. So let's just start with the SP2 first. And I'll get into why I don't like the SP2. But first, let's just go over its general features. It is CE level 1. It's mixed leather and textile. I believe it's goat leather. And you can see it's got quite a lot of textile on it. Textile here, textile here, textile here. And between the fingers and on the fingertips, that's textile as well. So about maybe a 30-70 split on this glove of textile to leather. It's got a palm slider, which I really like. Hard knuckles, some soft finger protection. Looks like it's got some aramid thing here. Not sure why they made that different for this finger, but there you go. It's got this finger bridge here, which I like to see. It is touchscreen. And it's got these, I'm not sure what exactly they call them, but it's like floating knuckles where the knuckle piece will sort of move semi-independently, which is supposed to give you better dexterity. So let's see how it fits. So this is where I start having problems with the gloves, and this is my main problem with the glove. This retention strap just does not work at all. These are size small gloves. I have pretty small hands and pretty small wrists, but it just does not work. It's way too big, and as you can see, so I want to tighten the glove about this much. That's how much I want to tighten it for it to be sort of around my wrist, and that's not really super tight. It's not causing me any pain. Nope, that's not working. As you can see, the hook part of the Velcro doesn't extend far enough, so this is the tightest I can have it, and that's barely connecting, as you can see. And I can fit one, two, I can fit 3 fingers underneath that. So yeah, they completely fucked up in the retention strap. Safe retention, what a joke. It just doesn't work. That's super disappointing, but yeah, the retention strap just, if you got small hands, does not work. It's almost like they've got the medium or the large gloves and they just used the retention strap from that and didn't change it at all for the small gloves. So that's a shame. And I am wearing my motorcycle jacket, by the way. It's this denim Kevlar thing from Oxford, just to show how they fit over, how the cuff fits over. But yeah, this cuff doesn't really fold in too nicely as well. You can see it sort of, it's hard to explain, but it doesn't want to fold in nicely, and you can't get a nice tight, you can't really strap it down nice and tight. That's my main problem. And yeah, and you can see like this, the glove will just pop right off. There's nothing holding it. So that's my main problem with the glove. That is yeah, not great. Not sure what Alpinestars was thinking, because I'll get to these in a second. The SP8 don't have any of these problems. They're able to get the retention right on the SP8. For some reason, they can't get it right on the SP2. So I don't know what was going on there. Seems like a fuck up from Alpinestars, and it's a shame. You know, they're a premium brand, so you'd expect them to actually test these things out and make sure the retention fits properly. But yeah, that's my biggest gripe with these gloves. The retention doesn't work. If you've got small hands and small wrists, I can't recommend them at all. I just can't recommend them, they're not safe. But yeah, let's ignore that for a second. Let's say if you've got, I don't know if this problem carries on over into the medium and large gloves. It might. I'm not sure. I can't say, but let's say these gloves fit. Let's say they fit you and you don't have these problems. Let's try go over some of the pros. What do I have to say that's good about these gloves? Very good dexterity because of all the textile. I think as far as leather gloves go, you get really good movement in your hands. So that's something I'm quite happy about. Got textile here, across the back of the hand, and textile between your fingers. What else? Well ventilated because of all that textile, and you can see it's got a bunch of perforation in the leather as well, so super well ventilated. Also, it's got all this accordion leather, so that helps with it having really good dexterity. Palm slider. I really like that. I really like that they have the palm slider on these gloves. I'm happy about that. That's great to see. And they're goat leather as well, so they're really easy to move around in. But yeah, going back to the cons, some other problems I have with these gloves. I think the textile is a bit much. I think they went a bit overboard with the textile. This is okay. I think this is a bit much and was just unnecessary because you've already got this sort of free-floating knuckle piece. I'm not sure if that's the best way to describe it, but you can see what I mean. I just think it was a bit excessive. But my main problem is they put textile all around the fingers, all around the sidewalls of the fingers, extending to the tips, which I think is a bit much. Because if you're sliding and you've got your hand out like this, I don't know. I think it's a point of failure, and yeah, it's not my favorite thing. The finger bridge as well. Finger bridge could have been a bit longer, extended out a bit more. It's not a super big deal, but would have liked that more. Yeah, but my main problem is with these cuffs. The cuffs just, they don't fit. They don't fit. You can't tighten them. It's ridiculous. They're basically unusable. Well, you can use the gloves, but I wouldn't consider them safe because if you go into a slide, they're coming right off. I just can't get these gloves to fit well. That's my main problem with these gloves. I just think they really messed up the retention. I don't know. If you have larger hands and larger wrists, this might not be a problem. I honestly can't say. But yeah, just it's a no-go for me. And it's a shame because I really wanted to like these gloves. You know, when I was looking at them, they had everything I wanted. Palm slider, finger bridge, and full style gauntlet gloves. Yeah, it had pretty much everything I wanted, but it's a real shame they don't fit. So now on a more positive note, the SP8. So when I was buying the gloves, I decided, let's get the SP8 as well, because they're similar price point, very similar looking gloves. In fact, I think they're a bit cheaper. I'm not sure how much cheaper they are. I'll put it up on the screen because I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, let's get into the review of the SP8 gloves. And I'll give a general overview and then I'll go over what's actually different about these gloves and why I like them. So yeah, overview of the SP8. I think these are the V3. Yep, SP8 V3. So they're CE level 1. They're mixed leather and textile, although they are mostly leather, very minimal textile. It's just around here, at the base of the thumb for better dexterity, and at the base of the fingers, just where the webbing of your fingers is. It doesn't go all the way up, you can see it just goes up a bit, and it's just at the webbing. You've got these hard knuckles, exact same knuckles they had on the SP2, and they are touchscreen. And you've got this extra little bit of leather here. I think it's synthetic leather, just for a bit of grip. You've got this palm slider. I say palm slider, it's more like palm padding. It's just this little bit of, I think it's some sort of aramid Kevlar thing, and it's got some foam padding underneath. But I wouldn't exactly call it a slider. When I think of palm sliders, I think of the plastic ones you get, like the sliders you get on the SP2. And you've got this finger bridge for the pinky as well. Let's go over what I like about these gloves. A, they are super comfortable. Insanely comfortable. Very good dexterity as well. I feel like I can move my hands around with no issue and I still have quite good feel. They're pretty well ventilated. This is one thing I'm really happy about, is I feel like they were super smart with the textile placement. So you got it right here at the base of the thumb, which is quite nice. It gives you some more mobility. I'm not really concerned about this being slightly less protective, because if you go into a crash, this isn't coming into contact with the surface, because your hands are going to be elevated by the base of your palm and your fingers. So it's not really a part that comes into contact with the surface. And the same goes for area between your fingers. That's not really something that's ever at risk of sliding. There's no real way of that happening. And I think it's really smart as well, because as you're on the throttle, you're going to have airflow going right between your fingers, which is going to feel amazing. The finger bridge as well. I'm really happy with the finger bridge. It's a lot beefier and chunkier than the SP2, which I like. And another thing as well, the cuff. I think the cuff is really nice and you can get it really tight as well. Because a lot of these full gauntlet style gloves will have massive cuffs. But what I like about this cuff is, if you want to as well, let me demonstrate here. You can very easily fit the cuff underneath your jacket, just like this. And there you go, that's something you can do very easily. And I really like that about these gloves. And if you want to do that for style, for comfort, whatever, it's an option you have. I really like that. Overall, I'm super happy with the SP8 gloves. I think they look super cool as well. I think they look a bit cooler than the SP2, to be honest, because they just seem a lot more consistent overall. There's a lot less crazy stuff going on. I feel like with the SP2, you've got so much crazy stuff going on, and the SP8 in comparison just looks super sleek. But that's just a personal thing. Some cons of the SP8, some things I don't like. No palm slider. I wish they put a palm slider on this. And to be honest, if they took the palm slider off the SP2, if they just scrapped the SP2, because they just don't work for me. If they took the palm slider off this and put it on the SP8, I think the SP8 would be perfect glove. It would be perfect. Some other cons, they do use some synthetic leather around the cuff, although I think that's just a minor gripe. I don't think that's too big of a deal. It's not a big issue, because that part of your hand is going to be protected by your jacket anyways, and I think they use a synthetic leather to actually get that really nice tight fit around the hand. That's just my guess. Another con, I guess the textile could be a weak point, but like I said, I think they were very smart with the placement. I think these are areas you're very unlikely to slide in, so I wouldn't consider that to be too much of an issue. And there is no hard finger armor. You do get that with some other brands of gloves at a similar price point. Not a super big deal. You just get the soft padding, which is alright, I guess, and you get some soft padding at the thumb. Would have been just a bit nice if they had hard armor, but not a super big deal. Yeah, so let me just outline what the key differences are between the SP8 and the SP2. SP8, you're getting a lot more leather, a lot less textile. SP2, you got textile at the back of the hand, all the way around the fingers, and in the thumb area. SP8, you're only getting it around the base of the thumb and where the webbing of your hands is. I think the placement of the textile in the SP8 makes a lot more sense, and I like the fact that you get a lot more leather with it. SP8, you're getting a full-on finger bridge, whereas the SP2, it's a bit shorter. I guess there's more of a chance for your pinky finger to get ripped off, whereas here in a crash, I think you're a lot safer. Another key difference, SP2, you get the hard palm slider. SP8, you get this aramid Kevlar thing. I prefer the hard palm slider. Overall, I really like SP8 gloves, and honestly, I think if they just took this and put it on the SP8, it would be perfect. I wish they'd do that. With the SP2, you're getting a lot more accordion leather to help with dexterity. I don't think it's a super big deal. I like the dexterity on the SP8. I think it's fine. I don't think it's super necessary, but yeah, you do get a little bit more dexterity with the SP2. And finally, with the SP2, most of the cuff is real leather, but I don't like the cuff closure. It just doesn't close nicely on my wrist, whereas the SP2, the cuff is mainly synthetic, but it's a really good cuff. As far as gauntlet gloves go, I really love the cuff. It's a really tight fit. You can wear it under your jacket, over your jacket. It's great. So overall verdict, I cannot recommend the SP2. The wrist closure and cuff closure system just does not work for me. I've bought size small, I have small hands. It just doesn't work for me. And I don't know why Alpinestars messed this up, because they can clearly do it on a very similar glove, the SP8. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be going with the SP8. It doesn't have the palm slider, which it's a shame, but it fits a lot better. They're super comfortable. And to be honest, I think these are really good sports touring gloves. Could use them on a track, definitely. But if you wanted gloves solely for the track, I think you should look elsewhere, because you don't get the palm slider and they're only CE level 1 protection. But I think overall, these are excellent gloves. Love the SP8, hate the SP2. Alpinestars, please make an SP2 V4 and fix the issues with the cuff and the wrist closure. Yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, all of that. It would mean a lot to me. Hope you guys found this video useful. Bye.